Time to talk a little rugby, and to do that, we once again say hello to our BN Sports Rugby Insider, Gavin McLeavy. Welcome.
How are you doing, my friend?
You're a little short on the top there.
Yeah, you know,
different hairstyle every week when we see you.
I went to speak to the lawnmower man.
Nice, nicely done. Doesn't look too bad. Look like a rugby player.
Yeah.
All right, week one of the Six Nations tournament featured the same fixtures at the same venues as in the 2011 edition, and it also played out the same way with identical winning teams, England, Ireland, and France. Based on what you saw in week one, what impressed you the most about those teams?
England did their thing. I'm very happy with that.
Bad first half, great second half.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we need. I don't care as long as one of the halves are good enough for us to win. That's all that matters to me. But I did predict that Wales would choke, and they did. They've done it again. They'll go ahead and keep doing it. It's just that's their thing right now. They're not going to do very well in that neck of the game.
What about for France?
France, they're doing well. I don't think they're going to beat Ireland. I don't think that's going to happen, to be honest. Ireland are just firing on all cylinders. They look very comfortable. They've got a very solid back line now. Basically, both the centres, both the wings, and the fullback have been playing together forever. Now you've got Sexton coming back at fly half. It's golden. It's just getting better. They tried out Ian Peatley, who's the third choice Ireland fly half, and he did very, very well. And it was a nice way for them last week to make some combinations, trying out a few new things. So I think they're good, especially with Sexton coming back from concussion a few weeks back.
Yeah, the game of the round, Aviva Stadium in Dublin is the venue as France comes for a visit. The last time France beat Ireland was at the Aviva in 2011 on their last visit there. They've had a couple of draws ever since then. So you're pretty confident that Ireland are going to be able to do it again. Where can France cause them problems, though? Let's go there.
Well, their coach keeps boasting about their bench. Well, you can boast about the bench, but if they're not on the field, they're not going to do anything. Keeps talking about how powerful they are. Well, great, but if they're sitting on the bench keeping it warm, they're not good to anybody. Right. So get your guys off the bench. Their forwards could cause a few problems, like they did a few years ago. I think Morris, he's one guy that's a little bit weak in the forwards for Ireland, and that might be their weakness. But I just don't see anything happening right now. France just haven't got it going on.
The numbers for France were certainly good in the victory over Scotland. No team carried the ball more than France did. Their lineouts were the best of the round, but again, they were playing Scotland, so maybe that had something to do with it.
Yeah, Scotland, they're a young set of guys. I like the continuity with Scotland, but France should be putting 30, 40 points into Scotland at this stage, and they're just not getting anywhere close to that. In fact, they just spent the day kicking the ball over the post.
Okay, well, Wales winger George North is out of this week's round 2 game against Scotland at Murrayfield after suffering a concussion last week versus England. North was clearly knocked unconscious but continued playing, and Wales have been hammered all week for the way that they handled it, or I guess didn't handle it. We've discussed concussions before. North was clearly knocked out when he was on the park. How was he allowed to continue playing in this game?
Well, the claims were that the physios didn't see it happen. That's 3 people that just didn't see him get knocked out, which is very dubious in my opinion. Now, since then, they've been talking about possibly doing replays, sort of like the TMO that you would have when there was a debate about a try. Yeah. They may try and do that now, where they just sort of throw it up on the big screens where available, and so that at least when the physios are running on to deal with someone, they can take a look and see, hey, which this happened in that particular game. You could see it on the big screens replay. But the physios didn't take a look at that. But that's something they're going to do for the World Cup. There's been talk about that.
But how much of this goes down to North, though, Gavin? The fact that he's out cold, he comes back, he continues to play. How much of this is that tough guy mentality versus taking yourself out of the game and saying, look, things are not right, I was knocked unconscious, I need a look?
Correct, yeah. Rugby players are like that. We spend our time pretending we're not hurt. And that's definitely the case with North. I actually was lip reading, and I'm pretty sure I saw him say, I'm fine, to the physios. Well, that's after the second time he got knocked out that day. So it definitely is that mentality. But the doctors have got to get him off. And they're actually talking about bringing doctors into the World Cup, independent doctors. So it's not just the team physios.
Right.
That might fix it.
Well, let's hope. You certainly don't want a concussion problem like what we've seen in some of the other sports, and it is something rugby is battling. Okay, here's what our Six Nations coverage looks like this weekend on BN Sports. All games on a delay, with the live matches being shown down at